opposed to three-pointers?
Well, yeah, I mean, they made threes. You know, they're 29th in the league, making 4 a game, and they come out and get 10 and go 10 for 16. So there's no question that didn't help manage. We didn't have energy to start with. You know, and we had to call a timeout. Basically 2 minutes into the game, we had 3 or 4 guys that hadn't even really broken a sweat. You know, and then we got back in the game, and then the second quarter, we couldn't score in the second quarter. You know, you fall behind by 10, you fight back, and even though you put yourself back in a situation, then similar to what we've done in a lot of games, in the last 3 minutes, we get hungry, we try to do it ourselves. We don't stay with playing as a unit. We take a quick shot instead of attacking to the rim, and then we gave up some offensive rebounds on a couple of key possessions down the stretch.
What do you attribute that lack of energy?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I don't want to blame it on that. I mean, you're out here. I don't know. It's like we were going to kind of play our way into it, and that was. And I think what happens, especially when you're playing a team that, they're not a bad team, but they've played bad here lately. At one time in the season they were 6-3. They beat some pretty good teams, and when you play a team that's basically is on a losing streak, as we told our guys going in, you've got to come out with energy at the beginning, even if you're not scoring. But it's like you got to let them know, hey, tonight's not going to be your night. And we came out. We tried to come out and trap pick and rolls. We just weren't mentally alert. As far as we didn't get into the traps, we had guys playing back off, and like I said, they get off to a 9-2 start, and they think we're going to play soft, and it gives them some confidence.
I apologize if you answered this question already, but how much was tonight, do you think, a result of the last couple of days?
That I don't know. I don't want to blame it on that because we might have a lot of those days here over the next month. And I don't want you can't have a built-in excuse. You still got to go out and still, now we gave effort. Anton was great again tonight. I mean, I feel bad because that guy has been playing his butt off, and we're playing about 43 minutes, and the guy's being thrown around like a rag doll, and it's he's about he's the one guy. He's so consistent in his aggression as far as in what he's doing, and has been so efficient.
Are you concerned at all about Karan's rhythm? It just seemed like he struggled to find his.
He defined a little bit, Jerebko is, he's a big, quick, aggressive type guy. He's a pretty good defender.
What's it say? I mean, Anton is the oldest guy on the court, but he's the only one that seems to be giving effort. I mean, what's it say about the rest of the guys?
Well, no, I think the other guys have given effort. I mean, we go through some mental things. I think sometimes, Nick really struggled tonight. It's like he was a little bit out of it, defensively as much as anything. We had a lot of mental breakdowns, and I think whether it's like today you have 7 guys for a shoot-around, whether it's some of those things, for your young guys, maybe they just weren't there with too many mental mistakes. But I think most of the time, we didn't come out hard, but, we played our way back into it, and our guys didn't, they didn't quit. We just made some bonehead plays as far as down the stretch, and we've got to, we got to keep on working to knock those out.
Do you think your team is lacking confidence in each other or themselves?
Well, what happens when you lose players? There's no question, even the last 2 games, our preparation with having Mike Miller going into the game, even though he didn't play much last game, he sets the tone of how you play early, moving the ball and those things, and your aggression. But when you keep on losing players, guys that maybe weren't playing, now all of a sudden people have different roles. And so, we're still, Randy's still trying to figure out where he is, a scorer, or distributing the ball. They have guys that haven't played much now in different roles. And so, sometimes when you're in a different role, you might not be as confident in that role because you haven't played it as much. And so, hopefully over time, those guys are going to get confidence as far as in those roles. So now we've got we got 3 games now in 4 days, and we've got 2 of them on the road and good tests. And so we're going to have to, Atlanta's going to be a tough one tomorrow. So we'll see how we bounce back.